Will Anduin be the first Shadow Paladin? But I thought he was a priest. He was, which is evident by the fact that he used priest spells as a child. But priests don't use swords or wear plate mail, and we see him do both at the beginning of Battle for Azeroth. Also, the OG Paladins were Knights of Lordaeron taught to use holy magic by the priest Alonsis Fowl. So why couldn't a priest learn martial skills and become a paladin? Given all that, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Anduin is already a paladin. But what about using shadow magic? Well, he's already done that too. In Mists of Pandaria, he used mind control on the dwarf Sully McCleary to avoid being returned to Stormwind, and more recently, in the novel Shadows Rising, he was tempted to use shadow magic again, which is a detail that Blizzard specifically required the author include. But thus far, he's largely resisted the urge to use it. So why would he start now? Short answer, because he can't use the light. When Thrall finds him in Silithus in the opening of the War Within cinematic, Thrall says,
"The world needs your light again."
and Anduin replies,
I am not that person anymore! I have no light.
This can mean he's lost his connection to both light and shadow, or just to the light. But if he can use shadow magic, he isn't using it yet. How do we know? Because Shalamain isn't glowing. Shalamain began its life as Shalator and Elamain, a pair of magic elven blades. Elamain had a red gem and glow, while Shalator had a blue gem and glow. The two halves of the swords were wielded by the two halves of Varian Rin after he had been divided by magic. While fighting Onyxia, the two halves of Varian were recombined, and in the process the two swords merged to become Shalamain. While wielded by Varian, Shalamain glowed with a red-orange light, but when Anduin retrieved it from the broken shore after his father's death, it filled with the yellow gold of holy magic. Then, when he was controlled by Zaval in the Shadowlands, it glowed with the ice blue of domination magic. Given that the sword is currently devoid of light in both the opening cinematic and the key artwork, I think it's safe to say that Anduin is not using shadow magic currently. So where does that leave us? We know that in the War Within, Anduin will be working closely with Illyria, who was the first Void Elf. And given that he's used shadow magic in the past, we know that he has the capacity for it. So who better to teach him than Illyria? I suspect he will start to use it in the War Within, and fully embrace it and go full Shadow Paladin into Midnight, when the war between Shadow and Light reaches its climax. This could set us up for a possible raid of Stormwind, with Shadow Paladin Anduin and the heroes trying to reclaim the throne from Holy Paladin Turellian, who is the currently acting regent. If so, I'm there for it. It's about time we saw some conflict within the Alliance. All hail the once and future Shadow King Anduin.